research and to produce scholarly publications is an extremely important attributes for all the faculty members in the academic line. So the present faculty development program is designed in such a way to impart the knowledge and give exposure to the participants about a research problem formulation, application of appropriate research design and skills of data generation, data processing and statistical analysis at both basic and advanced level, writing research article, even selecting journals, plagiarism checking, and other related areas of the research. And I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our chairman, Dr. L.P. Thangavelu, and our trustee, Mr. Akshit Thangavelu, sir, for extending their support to make this event possible. And my heartfelt thanks to our chief guest, Mrs. Devi Chandrika, Madam, Sunpress D Sales Degree College, Bangalore. Hearty welcome, ma'am, for accepting our invitation. Thank you. And my heartfelt congratulations to the Department of Commerce for their strenuous effort to make this event possible. And I strongly believe that this FDP will stand as a great source of knowledge for you all people who are attending here. And with great pleasure and pride, I wish you all a wonderful learning and knowledge sharing and convey my best wishes to the organizing team. Have a wonderful learning. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Knowledge must be shared. It has power to transform. Every person's willing to embrace it. So, to know more about our chief guest, I would like to call upon our faculty, Ms. N. Manjula Devi, to introduce our chief guest.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to introduce today's guest, Mrs. S. Devi Chandrika. She has 12 years of teaching experience in St. Francis de Sales Degree College, Bangalore. Ma'am has pursuing doctorate degree in marketing from Bharatiya University. She has completed MBA degree in HR from Bharatiya University in the year 2013. She has completed BCS from Hindustan College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore in the year 2002. She is currently serving as an head of the department, Business Administration. She acted as an animator for a group, encouraged the student to participate in the sports and cultural activities. She has a member in editorial committee for college magazine. She has a main organizer of Graduation Day 2016. She has acted as a main in charge of Health Club from 2015 to 2017. She has served as an coordinator of the management department. She has organized one-day students national seminar and organizing member international conferences. Ma'am has coordinated of Natural Club. Ma'am has part of organizing team of Pratibha Intercollegiate Cultural Event. Ma'am has main organizer for Amizadi and Alumni Associations for 3 years. She has organized many social outreach programs, guest lectures, alumni sessions. She is served as a department coordinator from 2016 to 2019. She is a part of Criteria 3 for NAC. She is currently coordinator of Aspire Cell. She is a member of Research Cell. Ma'am has participated in many conferences and seminars and also published more than 10 papers in UGC Careless journals and book chapters. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Only a storm of heart patient can turn the destinies of people, and he alone can erase patient who bears it within himself. It was said by Adolf Hitler. So now I would like to call upon a research person, Mrs. S. Devi Chandrika, madam, to take off this section. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Shall I share my screen?
Yeah, yes, you can, madam.
Is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah, yes, madam, it's visible.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank for giving me such an good platform to discuss something about research. So today we have joined here to learn something about research, that is the basic thing of a research process and data collection. So before going into research process,
Madam Devi Chandrika, madam, your voice
One
is not
second, sir.
audible.
One second.
Okay, okay.
Yes. Yes. Is it visible, sir, now?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
So, what is research? Research, when we are taking the common thing as a research, as a general word, we would find that it is very, very official thing and it is very heavy. But when we segregate the word into two parts, we can see that it is nothing but a research. So we are searching again and again something new, or what we are going to give to the world in a specific way or a unique way than what others has not given. So that is called research. For an good example, if I want to put, you can take a small kid. In every house will be having a kid. When they want to know something, they will be asking you repeatedly many questions: how it is, why it is, what it is. At one point of time, when we are locked without any answer, we would say that, "Hey, stop it," like that, right? So that is exactly called as research. Any one topic which we are very keen interested, and we want to know new things about that topic, and we want to learn new things, or we want to increase the knowledge about that topic, and we are going full fledged in reading out many articles and many things about it. And after that, we are finding it for that particular topic, one thing is not covered. There is a problem which is not having a solution. That topic we are taking it, and we are doing a research in that, and we are coming out with a conclusion. So that is called research. Next, in a very professional way, we want to know what is research. First one is search for pertinent information. We have to find an information. For example, I am interested in HR topics. So when I want to know a specific topic, we have to read more. We have to collect lots of information related to that. If suppose we are not collecting and lots of information about a particular topic, we will keep as a no, just as a discussion point. With a limited knowledge, with unlimited information, how can I say that there is a problem, or how can I identify that there is a problem in the existing topic and I want to find a solution? Because you know that including us, there are lots many scholars who are working on a different topic. So how come we know that whether this problem is not having a solution or not? Only by reading or gathering informations. So once you gather informations, once you read lots many things, then you will get a specific topic where there is a problem. And once you find, okay, this is the topic where the solution has not been found, and I have to find a solution, or I have to give a solution for this problem, then you will start to investigate. You will start to investigate by using many informations or many articles. We will find what are the data to be collected, what I am looking for, what is my perception about a problem. So I will frame a questions, I will frame an no investigations relating to that, and then I will find a new facts from the people. I will be getting a new informations from the experts, new informations or new findings from the respondents, and then I will be consolidating that, and I will be coming to a conclusion, that is interpretation of new facts. I will be analyzing that. I will be coming out with a solution with the use of statistical tools or scientific methods. So these are the generally how we say it as a research. But in general, if we are removing this official terms and conditions, in everyday life, each person is doing a research. Each person is finding an information. Each person is finding a solution to one or other problem. and we are gathering informations, we are analyzing information. At last we are coming out with a solution which is good for us, which is best for us, which is in need for us, with the help of many calculations. So research is everywhere. We are doing research knowingly or unknowingly. Next, when we want to talk about process of research, first one is formulation of problem. See, when we are talking about problem, any topic you take, any of your specific topic like marketing, you can take your HR, you can take your finance, anything you take, any problem will be broader in size. Surely it will be broader. But whether we can cover the broader size, no. If we say that yes, why not? Yes, you can, but how much no, how much authenticate it will be, how far you can reach that much broader sense. So it is a questionable. Surely it is a questionable. So that's why whenever we frame a problem, whenever we want to formulate a problem, we have to make it into a broader one. So we will see detail in the next slides of formulation of problem, coming slides. Next is review of literature. Of course, without a background study, how can we come out with a problem? For example, I want to know the problems faced by the pregnant women. So there are lots many problems which might have addressed and which might have got a solution also by lots many scholars. How come I know this is the problem where they did not find a solution? Unless and until I read or I find the source of information. Without finding that sitting in one place, I cannot say that this is the problem which I'm going to find a solution, because before you find a solution, there will be many people who have already found a solution. Then all your no time and energy and all such things will be a waste of time. So for that, review of literature is mandatory. Normally when we speak for any paper publication or else for thesis, we say minimum 20 review of literature is enough, or else say 5 review of literature is enough. But I don't think there should be any limitation for review of literature. I don't think so, because how much ever we are gathering information, how much ever extensively we are going, it all is going to give information for us. So which makes our research very very ethical and very very useful for the forthcoming scholars. So review of literature is not having any constraint, but generally speaking, we used to say minimum 50 review of literature has to be done for a proper thesis. Yes, but that is only minimum. Maximum nobody can frame, because review of literature creates a base for our research. Next one is formulation of hypothesis. See, if suppose any person who is very good in any topic, or any if he or she is having an interest in any topic, they always come and say, right? They always come and say this has happened because of this. This might have happened because of this. What is that because of this? That is nothing but an assumption. For example, if any person has gotten heart attack, or if any person has no has got some illness, we always say that that illness has come because of this habit of this person. So that is our assumption. It may or it may not, but we are assuming that this is the reason why he has got like this. So that assumption is called hypothesis. Any general topic or any topic you're doing a research, once we frame a research, once we read a review of literature, automatically some assumptions will come under our mind. Okay, this may be the problem which has not got a solution. Why this problem has happened? What may be the reason? Okay, this may be the reason. For example, if any student, you can take a teacher. If a teacher is in class coordinator of an 40 students or 50 students, for an example, you can find one student who is very very silent, right? Who is not that much active. So very soon you will find out, okay, there may be some issue with this kid. So what happens? After that, you will start to analyze that student. Periodically you will evaluate that student, and you yourself will perceive Okay, maybe the student is having some family issues, so you will call the parents and you will investigate. If you find that yes, there is a problem in the family, then you will come to a conclusion, okay, because of this only this child is there. But if there is no family issues, again you will reinvestigate. You will see, this is what our assumption is. So whenever we have a problem, we will start to assume something. This may be the fact, this may not be the fact. So this is called hypothesis. So in our research also, whenever we find out a problem statement, we will come out with an assumption. So with the base of that assumption, rest of the research work we will do, and why finally we will find it out whether my assumption is right or not. So that assumption is exactly called as hypothesis. Next is research design. Research design is nothing but a blueprint. Blueprint. This is my topic. This is how I am going to do my research. This is my target population, or this is my sample size. How I am going to no make an analysis. What are the statistical tools I am going to have? How I am going to collect the data? Which tool I am going to use? Which methods of research I am going to follow? So all these things, a general idea, your research design will give. So your research process and your research design should coincide. So there should not be any manipulation or mismatch with your research as well as your research design. Next one is specifying population. So when we are talking about specifying population, you should know which is your target population. So target population is very, very important. So when we are talking about target population, so you have to understand what is your for example, I am learning about an pregnant women, problems faced by pregnant women. This is my topic. In Karnataka, you can take that. In Karnataka there will be around 10 lakh pregnant ladies are there. So how I am going to get an information about that? So all the elements, any other women will not come under my population. My target population only will be an pregnant women. So who is having a similar properties, that is all items or elements or characters of my research will have a similar properties. So that properties is called as population. So that can be into two types, which we'll see in the later. So I think specifying population is nothing but a target population, which will be very, very specific. Next one is sample selection. Sample selection is nothing but out of a specified population, out of a target population, a small unit will be taken. As I said, if my study is about pregnant lady, problems faced by a pregnant women in Karnataka. So it may be 10 lakhs. So out of 10 lakhs, I am taking 1 lakh as my sample unit. So any small unit of your target population, and from that unit is representing the whole population of 10 lakh. So that is called sample selection. Next is process of research. Next point is ethical consideration. See, research nowadays, I don't think so. Mostly the research are done very ethically. I should not say this statement as a professor, but still the truth is truth. But yes, we cannot deny this also, not all the research. Yes. So most of the research, it takes time. There is no time frame for research. We say 4 years or 3 years. How come within 4 years or 3 years we will have a valid research? Because when we go for 100 respondents, for example, we cannot say all the 100 respondents will give the accurate information to us. So day by day we go in search of information, search of respondents, search of valid information, authenticated information. So whatever we do in research, it should be very, very authentic. So we should have the practice that the process of research from the beginning till the end, it has to have a moral norms and values. So that is very, very important. We, when throughout our research process, we follow or we set a certain morals where we will not compromise for that. Next is pilot study. Pilot study is a compact study of research at the beginning stage of our doctorate thing. For example, if we want to do a wide research, say with 1,000 people or 2,000 people, we have planned our problem formulation has been done, our sampling has been done, our review of literature has been done. After doing, we have collected data also. After doing all such things, you find that no, some methodology is wrong here and there. So after that, after wasting so much of money, time, and no energy, after approaching many people, all such things we cannot change it suddenly. So in order to avoid that blunder mistakes, we do a pilot study, say with 100 respondents, and we will find out whether the question or what I have framed is right, whether the methodology I adopted is right, whether the tool I adopted is right. Then, with the base of this, we will be changing or modifying our broad area of research. Next is data collection. Data collection can be done in three types: primary, secondary, and tertiary data. Next is data analysis and interpretation. So once we collect the data, we have to assemble the data, we have to organize the data. So we have to no, arrange the data in a particular form, and then we start to interpret it. We will be projecting our conclusion in a feasible way, in a tabular form, or else in a feasible way with a diagrammatic representation. We are projecting it where the people will be understanding it in a simple way. Next is communication and utilization. We have done a research, we collected the data, we have analyzed the data, we got an conclusion. But that conclusion or that finding or that solution has to be communicated to the public, and it has to be utilized in the practice area. So we are going to see one by one. Research problem. So if it is when we take a research problem, if it is a practical problem, it can be a contribution to a change. So any practical research will surely give a change in an real world. If it is a theoretical problem, it will increase our knowledge, it will expand our knowledge. So it will contribute in the knowledge sense. If it is a practical problem, it will give a change, whereas in theoretical problem, surely it will increase or update our knowledge. Now, any any problem before you formulate, it will be in a broader sense. Now, once the broader sense has been formulated, you have to subdivide the broader sense into a small subject area. Now, once you subdivided it, again you have to narrow down to a specific one. So one, in this third step only, you will be getting your actual problem topic. It is not in the first step. Surely once you find it out a problem, surely it will be a broader one. From that broader one to narrowing down your specific area, it takes a lots of efforts and a time. And this is the crucial part. If suppose your problem area is not so specific, you are not framing it in a right way, then your research is not going to give you any solution. So how I can make it? You have to make a questions. You have to ask the questions. You have to frame a number of questions, and you have to give answers for that questions. So while you are answering the question, you will find out some question which is not at all relevant to your problem. So you have to eliminate all the questions, and then at last you will get some questions. With that questions, you will be framing an topic. So, which will be base for us to study a research or to do a research, or what methodology I should use. For everything, the basis review of literature. For everything, the basis review of literature. What is review of literature? It is an documentation of published and unpublished work. What is published work? We will go for articles. We will read articles. We will find it with magazines. Some author has given this work. Okay, the main part is we will read, but the thing is, we will not have a patience to read the full article, because once you read the article, one article, you will not able to understand that. So what happens is, the one particular article you have to read for minimum 5 to 6 times to understand what is the core content and what is the finding of that. So it takes lots of time. But you imagine if we are not doing that, as I said, we cannot say that we are a good researcher. Why? Because already somebody has written the article, somebody has find the solution. For the same problem, you will be sitting and finding a solution. At last, you will find already some research scholar might have given a solution for the same problem, same solution. So what happens? All your research process will be a waste. So it is very, very mandatory. You have to do an review of literature. It gives you the background knowledge of how you can carry on your research. Like, for example, you can identify what the other research scholar has done, the methodology, what type of research design they have taken, techniques of analysis, and not only that, from where they got the source, where like you, they also might have done some review of literature, from where, which literature or which literature they have reviewed. So that source they will be getting. From there, you will find a gap, research gap, what has not been investigated. That research gap will be, they will be finding that research gap. So there are some sources which I have mentioned here, like Google Scholar, ResearchGate, Sodhganga, Elsevier. So these are some no place where we can get many articles, and we can get a review of literature over there. And even some app is also there, like Mendeley's and all, where the framing of a review of literature makes easy. Next is formulation of hypothesis. Formulation of hypothesis. Hypothesis, as I told you, it is nothing but assumption. This can be like this cannot be like this. For example, smoking causes lung cancer. Okay, smoking causes lung cancer. This is my topic. So independent can be smoking because it is not affecting anything. But lung cancer is a dependent variable where smoking is the reason why we are getting a lung cancer. So something which make changes, which cause changes is independent, and which is affected because of that is called a dependent variable. So we are proving yes, smoking is the reason for lung cancer. So smoking can be the reason or smoking may not be the reason. So anything can be, but my assumption is smoking causes lung cancer. So this is the assumption which I want to prove. So this assumption is called hypothesis. Now, there are many types of hypotheses when we go across. For your knowledge, simple things. Simple hypothesis where one dependent and one independent variable will be there. You are trying to prove that. So that is called simple hypothesis. And next is complex hypothesis. There are two dependent and two independent variable. For example, in last example, I told you like smoking causes lung cancer. Now I am saying in complex hypothesis, I am saying that smoking and drinking causes lung cancer as well as liver disease. So smoking and drinking, both are dependent variable, and lung cancer and liver disease is an independent variable. So two dependent and two independent variables in a topic, if we are mentioning, that is complex hypothesis. Null hypothesis is there is no relationship only. Null hypothesis. It is not creating any issues or any changes with this assumptions. So there is no relationship between independent or dependent variable. That is null hypothesis. Next is research hypothesis. Research hypothesis is nothing but it is having an existing relationship. It is having an existing relationship between dependent and independent variable. So that is called research hypothesis. Next one is direction hypothesis. Direction hypothesis is I am giving a direction for dependent and independent variable. For example, if I put like this, the experienced person will get an job satisfaction. That is positive relationship between experienced and job satisfaction. So positive is in direction. I myself is saying that experienced and job satisfaction is having a positive relationship. So I have already given you the direction of positivity. Surely it will be high. Now, non-direction is I am not only positive or negative, but I am giving you only the relationship. That is the relationship between experienced and job satisfaction. So those who are having experience, whether it is a positive or whether it is a negative, we have to find it out. So there is no direction in that. Next one is causal hypothesis. Causal hypothesis is again cause and effect. Smoking is the main cause for lung cancer. If you smoke, you will get a lung cancer. So this shows the cause and effect relationship. So next one is associative. Associative is if one variable, that is dependent variable, changes, independent variable also change. If the dependent variable is not changing, independent variable will not change. For example, like blood sugar increases, the infection in sugar patient also will increase. If blood sugar decreases, the infection in blood patient, sugar patient also will decrease. So it is interrelated. It is having an association between both. So this is associative hypothesis. Next one is research design. So research design, as I said you, it is a blueprint of collection and measurement and analysis of data. And it also helps us to decide issues like what, when, where, how, and what means. So all such things will be answerable with the help of research design. So when you're framing research design, it should focus the main objective of your research topic. And it also should be reliable. The information where you are getting, simply you should not collect information wherever the information is available. All the information you should not. You should see whether this information is a reliable information, whether I can take this information for my studies. It is from a reliable source. For example, you can take our publication itself. Many no fraudulent journals have come without knowing that whether it is an UGC care list or not. We used to publish the paper spending money. After that, you find that that is a fraudulent journal. So whenever you take an information, you should find it out whether it is, how much authenticated it is, and validity, whether it is having validity. Now, once I do a research, I should not frame myself that this information is sufficient. No, you should give in research design, you should give a proper information. Like if anyone is reading a research design, they should understand what is the scope of your study, what is the proper title of your study, what is the limitation of your study, and what is the population, and what is the pilot study you have made. So all such informations from head to toe of your research has to be generated from your research design. So anyone who reads your research design, they should have a clear cut idea, and also it will provide a base for you to carry out your research, because already you have planned precisely how I am going to do my research, how I am going to collect my data, what are the instruments I am going to use to collect my data, and what are the formats I am going to follow in my research, how many people I am going to collect that information as a respondent. So how I am going to give the conclusion. So all such things will be clearly stated in your research design, which will be a backup for your complete research. And also flexibility. See, while we are doing a research, sometimes what happens, we feel that the data, the instrument which I have taken for my data collection, for example, you take a questionnaire. I feel that the questionnaire is enough for my data collection. I feel. But for some research, what happens? The data collection alone will not be sufficient. So I need some observation to be made. For example, you can take an study on the student uh, who are depressed or stressed. So in such a cases, you will be having a questionnaire filled by that student. But to some extent, it may be right. But to some extent, observing that student becomes very mandatory. You will not trust that observation will give you an heavy input of information which is very valid and which creates a quality for your research. So at that time, in the research design, I have made that no, I can no I can make like questionnaire, I can make my research. But while you're doing research, you will understand no, observation becomes mandatory. So your research design should be in such a position. It should be a flexible enough to add observation method also inside that. And your research design should not have any error. It means that whatever you are doing practically should not be different than what you are doing, what you are framed in research design. Both should not be having any contradictory. It should be one and the same. So this is about research design. Next, specifying population. As I told you, our target population as an pregnant lady may be 10 lakh women in a pregnant in a Karnataka state. So sometimes whatever we are taking as an population, there are two types, maybe finite and infinite. Finite may be countable, but infinite may not be countable. For example, if you want to analyze the students in an final year BCom, so it is countable. Final year, how many students are there in a particular college, that is countable. But infinite uncountable is what? If suppose I want to frame a words using the alphabets A to Z, there can be n number of words which can be framed. We cannot say we cannot frame, right? There may be n number of words. So it comes as an infinite. Next is sample size. As I said, from the target population, you are taking a small unit of the entire population and you are making study on that. So this small population is going to represent others. For example, we can make the work stress of a lecturer who is working in a college, or work life balance of a lecturer who is working in a college. You can take as an example. You can take that as an example. So at that time, what happens? We cannot cover all the lecturers who are there, right? Even if you are taking a Coimbatore state also, you cannot go and reach all the lecturers in and around Coimbatore. So what we will do, we will take a sample of say 15 lecturers we can cover. So 100 lecturers we can cover, and that 100 or 50 is called sample size. But the thing what you should be very cautious is, when you are selecting a sample size, it should be inside your target audience. You should not give the sample size to whomever you cannot give your questionnaire to whomever you want. The sample size should fall under your target population. So for that, you should be very clear about your target population, and you should make sure the sample size which you have framed, like 100 or 200, whatever may be, it should be accessible. You should be able to reach them. So if suppose you are not able to reach them, then we cannot say the research is fulfilled. And a sample sizes, you can go to, for example, I want 100 lecturers. So 100 lecturers, if you want to reach, you can go for any institution, any college. For example, in Coimbatore, we can take PPG college. We can take Nehru College, we can take PSG College. So you can visit to those college if you are very specific with that. So lecturers who are and women lecturers who are having 10 to 20 years of experience in the lecturing field, or you are focusing only associate professor who are having 20 years of experience, you are making very specific with that, you can go to that institution. You can get the data of the people who are an associate professor who are having 20 to 30 years of experience in this field. So this is called, you are getting a list, right? You are making a list. So that list is called sampling frame. So this sampling frame will help you to get an sampling unit like 20 to 30 years I said. So that is called sampling, specifying the sampling unit, who is inclusive and who is exclusive. Inclusive is who? Associate professor who is having 20 to 30 years of experience in the same field. Who is exclusive? Who doesn't fall under associate professor, who doesn't come under 20 to 30 years of experience, they will not fall under this. So that is sampling unit. Then you will be selecting a sampling method. Sampling method in the later next sessions and all, the experts will be explaining you how to select a sampling. So as a broader sense, like you have to find it out which method is best suited for you, whether it is a probability sampling or non-probability sampling. Then sample size, there is an calculator to determine the sample size. It is not randomly we select. So if it is a target population is of 1,000, then you have to calculate how much should be my sample size. Maybe 500 or 250. There is a calculator which is available in Google to find out the sample size. So if you calculate with that help or with the formula, you will easily get your number. So you have to go about with that number to get the precise research result. Next is sampling plan. How I am going to collect the information, when I am going to collect the information, how I am going to approach the respondents. So all such things should be planned properly. You cannot see, if suppose you are going to meet an associate professor, suddenly you are walking inside of PPG college and I said, I'm doing a research and I want to meet an associate professor who is having 20 to 30 years of experience. Do you think that you can easily meet that person? No. So you have to get an appointment, you have to fix an appointment, you have to meet that person, you have to get a permission, you have to explain them. So a proper planning should be done to collect the samples. Next, you have to find out with you have to make a desired sample and you have to plan the desired sample, how much you are or how many you are going to contact. Next is ethical consideration. Ethical consideration, it is nothing but a genuine attempt. It is nothing but a genuine attempt. So when we are talking about genuine attempt, it is not that only the researcher who should be genuine. Yes, of course, the first and foremost, the researcher should be genuine in whatever he or she does. But the respondent who is giving information to us, they also should happily participate in our research. Willfully, they should participate in our research. That is called voluntary participation. They should have a self-interest to participate in our research. It should not be out of compulsion. For example, I am doing a research on students, and in my class, I will ask the students, hey, fill the questionnaire, you can complete it. There is no voluntary participation. It is a compulsion. So that compulsion should not be there. And there should not be any manipulation also. There should not be any hiding also. So it should not be very influential. So you should know to whom I am approaching, whether they are ready to give answer to me, whether they are ready to share information with me, and you should know which language they communicate, and according to that you have to make them participate in your research. Next is informed consent. What is informed consent? Any participant, any respondent who is a part of your research, they should be informed that you are a part of my research, and I am doing this research for this purpose, and I am so and so, and I am undergoing the research of this for my thesis purpose, or else as an as investigation purpose, or else for a documentary purpose. So for what purpose I am going to do this research, and what is the implication on this society? If I am doing this research, how it is going to influence the society? So that also should be explained to the respondent, and how what I am expecting from them, to which extent I am expecting their contribution to my research. So all such things, if suppose they are a part of my research, what is the stress they are going to have, what is the issues they are going to face, and how the data which they have communicated to me will be used for the report purpose, or else for the submission purpose, or else for the societal purpose. So all such things should be informed properly and genuinely to the respondents. And next one is anonymity and confidentiality. Anonymity is nothing but I myself don't know to whom I have forwarded my questionnaire. Simple example, you can take our Google form. Okay, I don't want to know about the respondent, but I am just forwarding the questionnaire, and my friend will be forwarding to their group. Like that, we are forwarding it, and we ourselves doesn't know to whom the questionnaire is going. So this is anonymity. The researcher himself doesn't know who the respondent are. But what is confidentiality? I know. I know. For example, you can try take a research on tribe. Okay, you know that research on tribe. So you will be meeting the tribals and you will be getting the information. Sometimes what happens, the tribals will be giving you the information about the problems they are facing with the forest officers, or else government officials, or the struggles they are facing to get the basic needs. So all these things are unspecific or very sensitive issues. So the researcher has to maintain the confidentiality. He or she should not reveal the name or identity of the respondent who is giving an information. So that is called confidentiality. Anonymity, we ourselves doesn't know who is answering us. Confidentiality is we thoroughly know who is answering us, but we will not reveal their identity anywhere. So this is confidentiality. Next, safety of participants. The researcher should make sure that physically, socially, or economically and psychologically the respondents are not getting any trouble because of your research work. And whatever output you're getting, whether it can be against the society or it can be good for the society, whatever it is, whatever may be the outcome, you should be genuine in providing the report. Next one is pilot study. Already we have seen the pilot study is nothing but a mini survey of a sample size, because in order to avoid confusions after doing a broad research, I have taken this topic, whether this topic can be researchable or not, whether I can come conclusion with this topic or not, whether whatever research design I have framed, whether I should modify or not, whether I should change or not. Then is there any problem in sampling? Sometimes we may feel the target audience is this, and the sample what we might have collected may not be within the target audience. So again we have to change the sampling, and how much time it is consuming, how much cost it is incurring. So what are the direct and indirect cost we are having with this research process? So to have and like it plays like a budget, it plays like a pre-plan. So pilot study will give us a pre-plan how we are going to take an extensive research or a wide area of research. So this is called pilot study. Next is data collection. Data collection are of three types. Normally, we used to segregate as primary and secondary data, right? So primary data is whatever we are collecting as a first hand information which is fresh and not yet published anywhere else, we are going to publish. So that is primary. What will be secondary? Already the scholars have published something and we are copying that and we are putting that in our research, and we are giving source also, like this has been copied from this. For example, you can take an survey population of done by government, so that you will be taking exactly, right, you will be taking exactly and you will be placing in your research. So you will be giving source as survey census report from government. So this is secondary data, and any content which has been already published in articles, which has been already come in magazines, news, or conference proceedings, you can take. So all such things, they in the same way we are taking for our research purpose, that is called secondary. But what will be tertiary? You can take, see, I am reading many articles of the same topic and I am not copying the same thing. Whatever I understood from that I am making it as a content. So for example, 10 articles I have read. Okay. From that 10 articles, what is my perception? I am making a small summary. That is called tertiary. It is not from one source, right? So it is not a secondary data. So it is from a consolidate of many things, and I am preparing my own summary out of it. So that is called tertiary. So data collection is of three types: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Now, under data analysis, data preparation, you have to check and clean the data. See, we will be getting a raw data, right? In that raw data, we will be having an important data also, which is needed, and some data which is not needed for us. So we will be cleaning that data, and you will be joining together all the data, and you have to arrange in a particular order how it is needed for us. According to my research, according to my topic, what are the data in which order I need it. Some data may be needed in a chronological order, some data may be needed in a numerical order, some data in an alphabetical order. So according to my research, according to my need, how I need a data, particular data, so I will be arranging that data in that order, and after that I will be editing that data to find out whether the data is complete and whether it is an accurate to the need of the study and whether it is giving an answer for my study. So all such things will be edited, and I am going to, after editing it, I am going to coding it with a number or simple or whatever you say according to the categorization. Then you will be classifying, then you will be tabulating in a mathematical term. So this is about data preparation. Next is data analysis. So descriptive statistics, describing the data. So inferential statistics is nothing but an association or difference to make judgments. If there is any association between the variables or data which has been collected, is there any relationship between the data which has been collected, or the data which I have collected can give any judgment to me, I can frame an inference with that. So all such things uh, is called as inferential statistics. And interpretation of data is, after doing all such things, you will be making a critical examination. That is, you should be able to explain your result with the statistical tools. So this is about the data analysis. Last one is communication and utilization. See, when we are talking about communication and utilization, your research has done, you have come with a solution, you have used lots of methodology. At last, the solution has been arrived. But if you are keeping your solution within you, then there is no use of doing a research. But if it is communicated, yes. But how you will communicate? There are oral communication and written communication. So oral communication talks about, if there is a conference, for example, if there is a conference, I am presenting my research. I haven't published, okay? I am just presenting my research. So if
Devi ma'am.
Sir, am I audible?
Devi
Hello.
madam.
Yes, am I audible? Hello, sir.
Yes,
Madam.
sir.
Am I audible?
Yeah, audible, madam. You continue, madam.
I think it has got mute, right?
Yeah, yes, madam. Yes, madam.
May I know from which slide?
I think communication and utilization.
Okay, fine, sir. Communication and utilization. Any research you make, it has to be communicated either orally or else in written form. Orally is nothing but like just an example, like if you are presenting in a conference and you haven't published your paper, you are presenting in the conference. You can take an experiments also. You are showing a demo. This is what the experiment I have done. So this is how it is going to be used. So all such things is oral. So what is the written? You have done a demo and it has been proved and you are mentioning it in written articles. So this is what my finding is. This is how it is going to help the society. So all these things are called written articles. Now communication is fine. Somehow we do that. We as a no professors, whatever we find, we are doing research in order to put it in somewhere. But what is utilization? Whether whatever we found has been utilized by somebody. When we are talking about science research, yes, of course, one or other way it will be happening. But when we are talking about commerce and management or social work, this can be utilized only by publishing a paper. Once we publish a paper, you know that the citation is having more value. Why the citation is having more value? Because that much utilization of our research article has been done. That is the utilization. So whether it has been used in practice, that is very important for any research. Yes. Now, before I conclude, for data collections, there are some methods which have been used. So that is like we are using questionnaire method, survey method, and many other observation method. But the one part which is very important is interview method. What is interview method? Two members who are communicating with each other, two members who are communicating with each other, we are getting informations from them. So that interview is very crucial instrument for data collection. So in that interview, if you take, there are two things like structured and unstructured. So structured is what you are predetermined. You are already finalizing the questions. Okay, I am going to ask only these questions to my respondent. That is structured. What is unstructured? Once you start your interview, you will be changing the questions according to the intelligent level of the respondent. So you will change the questions here and there during the interview. So that is called unstructured. So interview should be very keen, and you should be very well prepared of what you're going to ask, when you're going to ask, and how you're going to put your questions. So this is very important. Next tool is questionnaire method. So in questionnaire method, you have to be very you will be having a set of questions related to your topic, and you will be framing the questions and you will be giving to the respondents. Now what happens is there are two types of questionnaire. One is open questionnaire and another one is closed questionnaire. Open questionnaire is what you will be giving a descriptive answer for that. If you are asking that how you got illness, I'll be saying that I got illness because I had this, because of climate, all such sufferings and all such things you will be saying. But what is closed format of questionnaire? You had a fever? Yes. Since how long you had a fever? 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day. I had a fever for 3 days. So objective type, that is called closed questionnaire. So questionnaire is of two types. One is open and another one is closed. Open is descriptive type and closed is an objective type. Next is observation. So when you're talking about observation, there are structured, unstructured, participant, and non-participative. Structured is, it will be very clear in observing the things, what I am going to observe, when I am going to observe, or why I am going to observe. Unstructured is no plan at all, just you are observing, and whatever, for example, you can take like your class students only. Your class students only you can take. You will not have an intention of observing them, right? While you're going to class, you will find some students are in this way, some students are on this way. So there are group of students you will categorize. That was not an intentional. After going class, you will be having an observation. That is unstructured. Participation is, now I am a researcher. Okay, I am a researcher. I am doing a research on struggles of women lecturers in college. Struggles of women lecturers in college. I myself is a women lecturer. So I am one among them, and I am doing a research on that. So this is called participative. What is non-participative? I will not be a women lecturer. Okay, I will not be a women lecturer. Maybe I am a student. I am doing in a topic struggles of women lecturer in college, but I am not a part of a group. So that is called non-participative. Now here you can use it as an, how you will do is you can rate it, like rating the product. You can opinion 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is the product? Which is the best product you prefer? 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. You can make a checklist like qualities you can mention, and you can quality of food, inspection, or behavior of staff, for example. So you can make a checklist. Yes, behavior of staff is polite, patience, or none. So you can make a checklist of that and you can make it. Next is CCTV. It is just observing. Okay, so these are all the tools of observation. Next is biophysiological method. Biophysiological method is like a proper instrument you are using to analyze something. For example, you can have a blood pressure. So, and any research which has been done, or any study which done with a proper instrument, that is called biophysiological. For example, if you are taking like a fever, you want to check a fever, you will be checking a fever with a thermometer. So thermometer is an instrument which gives you the exact fever degree, right? So this, all such things will come as a biophysiological. So these are the various methods of primary data collection. So here I am winding up my presentation. If there is any doubt, we can have in a question answer session. I think so. Shivakumar sir. Hello.
Madam. Yeah, dear participants, if you have any queries regarding this presentation, you can ask. Madam, I think participants haven't any doubts because you taught very clearly.
No, sir, I think anyone is having, I don't have any problem to explain the things. If it is not there, then it is fine. So.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Shall we wind up, madam?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Revati, madam, you can.
Now, I can add Chelsea ma'am the vote of thanks.
A very good evening to everyone present here. On behalf of the session, I deem it a great honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks. At first, I would like to thank our management and profound gratitude to our principal, Dr. N. Muttumani ma'am, for giving us opportunity to conduct this FDP. It's she who encouraged and ran support. Thank you, ma'am. A big thank you to resource person, Mrs. S. Devi Chandrika ma'am, for her efforts towards the topic on research process and data collection. It's really fantastic and enlighten us with your knowledge and presence. Thank you so much, ma'am. I am very much thankful to all professors. I feel proud and thank you for making this program as a grand success. Thank you, professors. I would like to thank you, our head of the department, Dr. V. Shivakumar sir, for his enthusiastic support. Thank you, sir. And also thanks to my colleagues for their unkind cooperation and support for organizing this function with a great success. Thank you, professors. Once again, thank you to one and all.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful vote of thanks. With God's grace, we end our session successfully. Dear participants, today's feedback link has been posted and please fill the feedback. Thank you, professors. We will meet again by tomorrow's session. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Dear participants, the feedback link posted in your chat box. Kindly fill the feedback. Dear participants, everyone kindly fill the feedback form that is posted in your chat box. Those who are watched in YouTube on today's session, we will post the feedback link in the group. Kindly use that. Under the YouTube. Dear participants, those who are watching in YouTube, we will post that a feedback link in that YouTube chat box. Kindly fill the Google feedback form. We are unable to post the feedback link in the group because there is plenty of audience are there. So those who are watched the today's session, they only eligible to get the certificate. So that's why kindly understand our situation.